Who's ready to escape a crazy blood cult? Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with episode 7 of Fallout, the penultimate episode. Last time we had crazy cult shit, because that's always fun. Yeah, Lucy and Maximus are stuck in a crazy cult that is basically centered around this vault that we see through flashbacks with Cooper Howard, the ghoul, as well. And we see that in the current day, they are worshipping Moldaver, who we found out is from pre-war. We don't know how, but presumably it has to be cryogenics. Considering the episode also introduced cryogenics into this series, though honestly they've been in Fallout before. So, I mean, Fallout 4 is like basically centered around it. You're cryogenically frozen and wake up 200 years after the bombs drop and everything. That's kind of the point of Fallout 4. So, but it's introduced into this Amazon series this way in the same episode. That can't be coincidence. My thought is Moldaver was probably cryogenically frozen within Vault 4. Whether by her own desire or not is completely up in the air, but that's my guess. And that's why she's alive today. Now, as to why she's being worshipped by this blood cult, unclear. But it's implied that she's like either a part of or a leader in the New California Republic currently. And there's a lot of implications regarding Lucy having been born on the surface as well. There are a lot of implications regarding that kind of stuff. The ghoul just interacted with the so-called president and everything during the last episode. He didn't have a lot to do, but he did take credit for what Lucy did at the Super Duper Mart. And I will give him credit for that. Like, she saved him. He repaid that. I will give him credit for that. But he also noticed a poster of Moldaver and realized that Moldaver is the woman he knew from 200 plus years ago. So now he knows who Moldaver is. He knew of her before, but hadn't actually seen what she looked like or anything. So yeah, I'm going to be interested to find out more about all of that. Maximus is kind of enjoying cult life. He's kind of been brainwashed into it. Lucy is the one who's trying to get them out, even though it started the other way around. And now it's a matter of how are they going to get out? How are they going to escape? And are we going to see Norm again this episode? We didn't get any Norm stuff last time. I'm definitely interested to see how this goes, so we're going to begin this. Why waste any more time, right? But before we begin, I do want to let you all know or remind you, depending if you're new to the channel or not, that we have a lot of great, awesome content to check out. Every Monday through Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions. And on Mondays, we have YouTube, or at least YouTube-adjacent reactions. Shorts, specials, mini-series that just aren't long enough to have their own specific slot for that. These are what this slot entails. Anything that doesn't quite fit into a full series or movie reaction. It can include stuff that's actually from YouTube or not. That doesn't entirely matter. That's why I say YouTube adjacent. But we do also have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. They're recorded during the course of the week, but uploaded on the weekend, so that every day has something going for it. We also have a couple Let's Plays we're going through currently. On Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, we're playing through Spider-Man 2, which has been a lot of fun, great game so far. But if you are new to it, if you're new to the Let's Play series, I will tell you that parts 1 through 9, especially 5 through 9, have some audio issues in there. Things that I didn't notice until after recording and so was unable to actually fix. But I got it all figured out by part 10, and so parts 10 and on, most of the Let's Play should be fine. And just to also add in here, this is my first time doing a capture card Let's Play for the PS5 or otherwise. So things like this might take a little bit getting used to. So cut me some slack. I'm still learning. But we're also playing through Anno Mutationum on Saturdays, and this is a donation reward Let's Play for Matthew Vasquez. If you want to know how to donate for a Let's Play in the future on the PS5, there are videos on the channel for you to check out. The most recent and relevant at the moment would be the June Double Reward Month announcement video. The title of the video will also have PS5 in it, so if you search June Double Reward Month PS5 on the channel search, you should find it with no problem. And it'll tell you everything you need to know regarding how to donate for a Let's Play. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and let's get this going. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction because, yes, we do redirect all reactions on this channel. I know you don't want to have to click all those extra links and everything, but there's only one. There's only one down in the description below. You click it, it takes you right to the page. And you know why we're doing this, too, because YouTube's copyright system, not that great. In fact, it's quite shit. So to avoid any possible channel strikes or even worse, channel termination, I've dealt with that before in the past, don't want to deal with it again, it's the worst. To avoid all that stuff, we push everything off onto another site. But the good thing about this all is that all of you, yes, every single one of you, gets to see the full unedited reaction for free. Not a lot of channels can do that. It's pretty great. And you don't even have to worry about any paywalls. You don't have to go to a Patreon. You don't even have to sync up your own copy. You just click the link, take it to the full unedited reaction, and get to watch it in all its glory. That's pretty awesome, honestly. Like I said, it's not something that all reaction channels are able to do. So, big positives there. But, my mind's blanking. Hold on. After you watch the reaction, you can come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will not only contain spoilers to the episode, but just my general thoughts on the series and things as to how they've gone so far, as well as just possible thoughts and stuff regarding the channel and everything, certain things like that. It's always worth checking out. I would definitely suggest it. But that being said, it's about time we get on with this. So thank you all so much, as always, for tuning in. And I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. You know, for this being basically the same length of time as the last episode, it feels like a lot more happened in this one. And it kind of did. This one, like, had a lot more focuses. We focused on so many more characters. And got to highlight, like, a bunch of different plot lines. I mean, it's the penultimate episode. It kind of makes sense. Just like the next episode probably is going to have to touch on that too. But wow. So I'm just going to say right off the bat, if I forget to mention anything and you want to know my thoughts on something that I forget to mention, please say so in the comments below. But as always, no spoilers. No spoilers for the last episode. I'm excited to get to that next week. And hopefully season 2 comes within a year, honestly. Um, so let's try to talk from all the different perspectives. That's how I'm going to try to do this. Let me get a drink first. Um, Needed that. So let's start with Lucy and Maximus, because their perspective is combined at the moment, though that seems to be breaking apart for the final episode. So Lucy and Maximus start in Vault 4 at the beginning, and Lucy is facing the repercussions for her actions. She finds out the truth about the vault and the experiments that were being run in there. And it's found out that the current vault setup is basically run by descendants of the people who had been experimented on, as well as obviously people who had come in from the surface. That the original vault dwellers from Vault 4 are gone. They're just gone at this point. And the dwellers of Vault 4, you know, despite the creepy cult shit, are actually kind of nice. Like, they not only let Lucy go, but they're like, you know, giving her a bunch of supplies and stuff to survive at least sometime in the wasteland above, because they're just nice. They're just nice people. Again, the cult shit is creepy and weird and kind of fucked up, but, you know, they're not like the worst people we've seen in this, which is kind of wild to say. Like, you see a lot of people who are honestly so drastically worse. And it's clear that that these people are basically just trying to create a nice home for people who have been spurned by others and whatnot, and who just wants a safe home to live in. They're again there's the creepy cult shit, but apparently you don't have to take part in that, because last episode there was someone who just was walking the other way, who I guess just decided not to take part that day. They might have been new too. That's always a part of it. So it's like, maybe like you don't even need to take part in that, and it's like, okay, it's just everything else is pretty nice, honestly. um, but Maximus does see Lucy being dragged away at first before she's going to be let go, and he's like, okay, no, that's the last straw. It's like, I like this girl. We're not going to let this happen. She offered to let me explode my penis. The wording on that last episode was still wild. Um, but yeah, so he goes and gets the fusion core, and while the vault does go on to auxiliary backup generator power, he kind of bursts through, starts attacking and trying to force his way to saving her. Luckily, she tells him before it goes too bad that everything's okay and that they were letting her leave. They didn't get to grab the supplies, it looked like, though, unfortunately. But they did leave, and they even dropped the fusion core back down for them by Lucy's, prodding, in order to, allow them to continue to thrive and survive. Because, again, outside of the weird cult shit, they're not bad people, and it would feel kind of bad, like, dooming them with everything. Though the entire reasons of, like, oh, my father would never forgive me if I did that, it's like, I don't think he would care as much as you think he would. I don't trust him at all. But yeah. So they end up continuing on their way and eventually come across, I can never remember his name. Did it start with a T? They said it in the episode too. I can't remember it. Let me see if I can find it. Amazon Fallout series cast. Let me see if I can find him real quick. Just looking at the general cast here. Thaddeus, that was it. So they end up coming across Thaddeus, who's at a booby trap heavy location run by Fred Armisen. I'm just calling him Fred Armisen. And he's there because he got to call in the Brotherhood. He used their radio because his wasn't quite working. And this is after he already abandoned dog meat in the Nuka-Cola cooler fridge thing. So he ends up seeing them coming, shooting at them, but they end up actually making nice, and Thaddeus and Maximus actually kind of leave off on good terms, it seems. Though we find out that Thaddeus has become a ghoul, because before he had met this traveling doctor dude who we saw in a previous episode. And he offers to heal his foot and stuff, to help him heal his foot. And it works, and now I know why. Like, when that first happened, I'm like, the fuck? It's like, that is like video game logic taken to quite an extreme. But then you find out that in reality, the potion ghoulified him. It turned him into a ghoul. And although he hasn't, like, you know, decayed and got a messed up face and anything yet, the ghoulification process has started, and he's already gained the ghoul kind of healing abilities. Hey, as we know, ghouls are very hard to kill, and this is why. So we see that he didn't die from the arrow being shot through his neck, and after he pulls it out, his wounds heal up. So that's fun. But he ends up going his separate way while our heroes split up after sharing quite a passionate kiss. We have Lucy headed towards Moldaver, and we have Maximus going to see the Brotherhood again, bringing a head that he's going to try and pass off as the right one. But in reality, it's just one of the random heads that were there at Fred Armisen's place. And going back to Thaddeus, like, we didn't see too much else of him. We saw that he traded the fusion core to get the healing potion and everything. And we saw when he left dog meat in the cooler, but we pretty much covered his side of things as well. The big thing now is that he's a ghoul, and I like that they covered the fact that the Brotherhood aren't really exactly the good guys, and that if they did find out that he had become ghoulified, they would absolutely fucking kill him. Because the Brotherhood are racist as fuck against ghouls, against synths, against anything like that. So, yeah. He would absolutely be fucking dead. So, probably a good idea that he ran. Hey, I mean, his foot's healed up and everything. He's ghoulifying, but hopefully he'll be fine. Maybe he'll be fine. I don't know. I'm just glad that he and Maximus did leave off on good terms, at least. It's something positive, I guess. Now let's talk about the ghoul. So, the ghoul visits this family. We see a father and son were out treasure hunting, and when they come back to the ghoul already at the house. getting fed some good food from the daughter who's there. And we find out that he's there for information. Apparently, this father had another son who went at some point to work for Moldaver. And so he wants to know where Moldaver is. And he found out that the other brother, the youngest son who is still here, was also in communication with Moldaver's camp. He tells the ghoul where that is, where to go. And he does get shot. I was kind of confused. Did he kill him? Because it looked like it was a shoulder wound. It looked like a non-lethal wound, but the way the father was holding him after made it look like he was dead. So I'm kind of confused on that. I'm not sure if the younger son, if he died or not. But the ghoul continued on his way. He eventually found the Red Rocket Station and found dog meat there. And yeah, they're continuing their search. In the flashbacks, we see that Cooper Howard did attend that meeting that Moldaver, or I guess Miss Williams, was at. And yeah. So we have full confirmation that Lee Moldaver is like a new name for her that she's chosen to go by in the Wasteland. It isn't her birth name. But I'm still gonna refer to her as Moldaver because I'm just not gonna dead name her at this point. It's like I count it as that, okay? It counts as dead naming still. I just wanted to mention the name at least once because it was brought up once. But yeah, so he's at the meeting and Moldaver's talking about all this stuff and he's like, oh, this is horse shit. He gets ready to leave, but she convinces him to at least talk to her for a little more and convinces him to take a listening device to basically bug his wife's Pip-Boy. And while at first he's refusing it, and even when he takes it home, he's like not about it, he eventually gives in and does it, but then chooses not to. Like saying, like, what am I doing? While talking to the dog, Roosevelt. But then in the middle of the night, he's like, they don't allow fucking dogs in the vault. I gotta do this. So he gets the listening device again. And that's as far as that led right now. We know he loves his dogs. I mean, he loved Roosevelt a lot, apparently. The movie poster we saw for that one movie that was like him and his dog, it was actually his dog that was in the movie with him, which I guess is also partially why the poster of that specific movie was blown up so big. He's just a dog guy. And he, even though he tells Dog Meat here, it's like, sorry, Dog Meat, you ain't him. It's like, we still acknowledge that he saved the dog multiple times. He saved Dog Meat multiple times, so he's still a dog person. We also, of course, have Norm's side of the story. And this is the last one I think we have to talk about. But this is still the most interesting to me. Norm is definitely my favorite character, the standout of this show. And not just because Moises Arias, Hannah Montana star, and everything. Really not because of that much at all. It's just I'm so invested in the mysteries of these vaults. And this is what I want to know the most about, more than anything else we've seen. So it seems like the raiders were the ones who were poisoned, right? With the rat poison. And this is happening right when they're about to get new assignments. Some of the vault dwellers in 33 are going to be moved over to 32. And yeah, it seems like things are going interestingly in that regard. So they have this entire send-off thing where Woody, I think his name is, tries to like stay. Is like, nope, I'm not going. I can't do this. Nope. But he is not being allowed to stay behind. The guards make sure of that. So he ends up having to go, saying goodbye to the other member of the council who I can't remember the name of, but it's like these two have like a notable bromance. I feel it's like I kind of ship them. Is that just me? Woody and the other council member whose name I can't think of at the moment, but I kind of ship them. They're kind of cute. But they do say goodbye here, and we see everybody else who's going, which includes Chet and Steph, the latter of whom is now the overseer of Vault 32, at least for the interim. And we know that she is from Vault 31 originally. We found that out, like, was it last episode or the episode before? Either way, we found that out already. And so that makes a lot of sense. Norm takes this opportunity, though, to leave the sending off ceremony and infiltrate Betty's office and terminal. He sends a message to the overseer of Vault 31, who recognizes that Betty is the overseer, which means they've been in contact since she was promoted via the, let's be honest, rigged election. And he gets in contact with them and basically convinces them to let him into Vault 31. Because Vault 31 is clearly doing some shady shit. And they're, even with what's said on the terminal as they're communicating, like Norm masking as Betty says, it's like, I need to return. And the other person is like, what, were you compromised? It's like, oh, this is more than just like a normal thing. This is very Vault Tech fucked up kind of shit. But when he goes to the door to open, no one is there. And so that means it was opened remotely. And that also implies that whoever opened it possibly saw him. Because they would have had, like, cameras, right? So they would have let him in on purpose. Having realized that it wasn't Betty. Which means that they're curious, I assume. And we're going to get some really interesting shit. But the thing is, he's going over there with no plan, right? Like, what does he expect to do? Is it, like, even if he goes over there and like gets answers, like, does he expect that they're just gonna let him leave, go back to 32? Because that seems unlikely. Does he think that he's infiltrating? Because no, they absolutely would know he's there, right? This doesn't make sense. And then it leaves off on a big cliffhanger, of course, because it has to. But yeah, it's just like, there's a lot of questions I have here. And it's like, I guess he might have seen someone at the very end there. But prior to that, there was like no one around. It almost looked abandoned, or maybe like run entirely by like machines or AI or something. So I'm really curious as to what the reveals in the last episode are going to be for that. But yeah, there's no way that everything is going to get resolved next episode. So I'm really feeling that we're going to leave off on some cliffhangers, and season 2 is going to build upon that. I'm very interested to see where this ends, though. This has been a fantastic series, honestly. Like, this definitely is up there with The Last of Us in terms of video game show adaptions. And in terms of video game adaptions in general, you can also put it up there with the likes of the Sonic movies. Or Sonic franchise, I guess you would say now, because there's a series as well. 2 movies and a series and a 3rd movie coming this year. So, yeah. Video game adaptions are getting a lot better. Like, just on a more consistent scale. Because there's always been some good adaptions here and there, but they've been kind of few and far between. Like the first Mortal Kombat movie. It's like, it's good. It's a good, campy, fun movie, and it felt like Mortal Kombat. It had its problems. It wasn't perfect, but still. It was still good, and that's a much earlier film. But then you've been getting a lot more recent stuff. And yeah, stuff that even if I don't think is good as well, a lot of people do, like Arcane and Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Like I don't like those shows pretty much at all, but they're pretty universally loved. And so it's like even if I don't like them, most people do. So they would still be considered successful video game adaptations. Um, but yeah, this is really really good, and I can't wait to see how this closes out. And obviously I'll wait till next time to announce what's gonna replace this and all. But yeah, I'm very very happy with how this has turned out. Um, So, in the meantime, before we close this out, I do want to remind you all that we have a lot of great content other than this on the channel to check out. Monday through Friday, we have a bunch of awesome series reactions. And on Monday, we also have YouTube, or at least YouTube adjacent reactions, anything that doesn't quite fit into a series or a movie. And movie reactions themselves are on Saturdays and Sundays. I record them during the week, but upload them on the weekend so that every day has something going for it. We have a couple Let's Plays we're currently doing as well, which includes Spider-Man 2 every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Really been enjoying that. And we have Anno Mutationum every Saturday. And Anno Mutationum is a donation reward Let's Play for Matthew Vasquez. If you want to know how to engage in that and donate for a future PS5 Let's Play yourself, check out the video titled June Double Reward Month. That also has PS5 in the title. If you do a quick search for that on the channel search, you should find it with ease, and it'll tell you everything you need to know regarding how to donate for that. That all being said, though, thank you all so much for tuning in, as always. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.